Welcome to First Draft Problems. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 common mistakes when writing dialogue. Don't do these. Welcome to the Independent Film School. I'm Thier. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 common dialogue mistakes. Don't make these. I'm going to start with the most common dialogue mistake, and I'm going to end on the most important one. So let's dive in. The most common dialogue writing mistake is that it's overwritten. Woo-hoo, long paragraphs. Try it out in real life when you actually talk to someone. How long do you manage to talk before you get interrupted? So in a screenplay, 3 lines or more is considered a monologue, and people don't speak in monologues. People speak all over each other, and you want to actually exaggerate that in a screenplay. So most of your dialogue blocks are going to be 1 or 2 lines. When people see a screenplay page where the dialogue blocks are consistently 3 or more lines, they instantly flag it as an unprofessional script. Oh, this is a new writer, so don't be that guy. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you an example of a script where I will trim down the dialogue and show you how that's done. Okay. Common mistake number 2 is where all characters sound kind of the same, and you can't really keep track of who's saying what. In a well-written screenplay, you could cover up the names of the characters, and just by how they're talking, you'll know who's talking. Okay, mistake number 3. Characters are speaking in perfect grammar, perfect punctuation, complete sentences. I am so sorry about all those writing classes where your writing got ruined by being taught that all of that has to be in there. A screenplay reflects how people actually talk, and nobody talks that way. Nobody speaks with perfect grammar and in complete sentences unless that's the distinct quality of a particular character. This is kind of a weird character who's always speaking in complete sentences and perfect grammar. But vast majority of your characters are not going to talk like that. They speak in incomplete sentences, run-on sentences, one words. They don't care if there's a subject or a predicate or whatever. It's just not how people talk. Record a casual conversation one of these days and listen back to it and see how people actually talk. While we're on the subject of not writing in perfect grammar when people are talking to each other, by all means, you have to use contractions. I don't want to see no contractions in your screenplay. Nobody says, "It is sunny out there." People say, "It's sunny out," right? People don't say, "I do not want to do this." Nobody talks like that unless they're weird. Maybe your character is weird. People say, "I don't want to do that," or whatever it was I said. I don't want to. I don't remember. Okay. So please, you must use contractions. Promise me. Mistake number 4 is the lack of subtext. And what is subtext exactly? In real life, people say one thing while something else is going on. It's the elephant in the room. It's what's really behind this conversation. Remember the scene from The Professional where this guy is holding a gun to this other guy's head. He's about to die. And the whole conversation is about classical music. That's the dialogue. It's all talking about classical music. It has nothing to do with what's actually going on. That is yummy dialogue, right? So if I come to you with a bunch of flowers and I say, "I love you," that's not very interesting dialogue because my actions and my words are doing the same thing. If I come to you with a knife and I say, "I hate you," that's very melodramatic and not very good writing because we're seeing and hearing the same thing. But if we mix them up where the words and the actions do different things, we get yummy dialogue. So if I'm got a knife in my, holding a knife behind my back and I say, "Hey, I love you," the audience knows I'm holding a knife. Whoa, now the "I love you" thing is really interesting, right? Or if I come over with a bouquet of flowers and I stand there and I say, "I hate you." Whew, the actions and words are doing different things. Now, when it comes to the knife and flower example, If I'm holding a knife behind me and I say, I love you, what's really going on here? The actions are always louder than the words, right? I'm about to hurt you really badly. So that's what that conversation is really about. Or if I'm holding out a bouquet of flowers and I say, I hate you, what's really going on here? I clearly love this person. Maybe I'm embarrassed about it. Maybe I hate the fact that I love them, but I love them. So the actions are always louder than the words. And the yummy stuff happens when the actions and the words do opposite things. That's subtext. Or do opposite things or have nothing to do with each other. Let's say I'm talking to my best friend and I know that she hasn't told me yet that she is planning to get married. Okay, I heard about it through the grapevine. She never told me. And we're sitting there buttering our toast, talking about what's on the menu. And I'm like trying to get her to tell me, and she's not telling me, but I'm not going to say anything, right? So that's subtext. The scene is about me upset with my best friend for not telling me what's going on, but the dialogue is going to be about butter and toast. That's subtext. Mistake number 5, I say it's the most important because if you address this one, it will often fix all the other ones that I spoke about. The dialogue won't be in correct grammar. It won't be overwritten. It won't lack subtext. Characters will be distinct if you address this one thing. The gravest mistake, is that a word? I don't care. The most grave mistake that writers make when creating dialogue is religiously following every beat of an outline. And then you're like, well, this is well structured. I have the acts and the beats and all of that. Yeah, but your character is not coming to life. Your character is not going to be real. When your dialogue follows the exact beats of an outline, the script and the dialogue will come off as wooden. It's going to feel like a series of plot points. But the reader, the audience, is not actually going to feel what's happening and really be in your character's shoes. It's not going to come to life if you're writing dialogue based on what the outline says. I think of outlines as your best guess at where the story will go. But when it comes to writing is an emotional experience. It's not math. Your job is to feel feelings. It's a lot like acting. Your job is to feel what your character feels. And so your outline may be saying that this is the breakup scene, but while you're writing it and you're in Samantha's shoes, you're like, I can't do this. I can't do it. And Bob says, what? What are you talking about? And Samantha says, never mind. Grab the socks. And you keep going. Believe Samantha, not the outline. If she can't bring herself to break up, it's too soon, or it's not the right move, or it's not what she's going to do, or given the characters that you created as you wrote them, as the story unfolded while you wrote and really felt it, that breakup scene doesn't belong there or at all. So feel your characters' feelings, be in their shoes, and when you do that, you're not going to write monologues because your character is going to be too scared to speak that long, or the other character is going to have to interrupt. Your character is not going to speak in perfect grammar because they're just going to be themselves and say what's on their mind. The subtext will naturally appear. That's the beauty of writing when you're really in the character's shoes. You don't have to manufacture subtext or plan it out. It's going to be there. She's not going to be able to bring herself to speak about breaking up. She's going to keep wanting to talk about the socks that are missing and looking for it in the dryer. I don't know. But all of these things happen naturally when you actually feel your character's feelings, and that's the place from which you write. That is the most important thing you need to know about writing dialogue. Okay, as promised, I'm going to look at a script page now and show you how I, no mercy, hack away at some dialogue to trim it some more. Here you go. Okay, we're going to read the before and after trimming this dialogue. I have here Memo, who's doing a completely cold read. He's a trooper. Okay. Interior Meg's apartment day. Meg storms around the room looking for her keys. Doug sits awkwardly on her couch, twiddling his thumbs.
I already told you that I have the set of keys that you gave me. We can find your keys later when we get back from dinner. I don't understand why we have to look for your keys right now. We're going to be late to our reservation.
And I believe that I already told you that I don't ever leave my house without my keys. I never have, and I never will, Doug. I told you this several times, and you keep presenting me with the same bit of advice. I have your keys. I have a set of keys. I know you said it. I get it. Everyone knows you have a copy of the keys. I still need to find my keys.
See, Meg, that's your problem right there. Someone comes along trying to help, but you won't accept the help. You never do. Earlier today, I offered to help you arrange the beddings in the trunk where they don't really fit, and you kept telling me that you don't need help. It's not how you build a relationship, Meg.
Oh, so now it's a relationship. You want to mess with my beddings means we now have a relationship. You're seriously going to bring up the state of this, whatever, this relationship, whatever this is, when I'm trying to find my keys? If you want to help Doug instead of advice, maybe you can get off that couch and help me find these damn keys.
You just don't want to acknowledge the fact that we have a relationship, and that is exactly why I have a set of your keys. Why don't you just admit it, Meg? We have a relationship. People who are in a relationship often have two sets of keys to the same place.
Okay, let's trim it down. Trimmed it down. Let's read it again and see if it lost anything.
I have keys. We can find yours later. We're going to be late.
I know. You said it. I get it. Everyone knows you have the keys. I still need my set.
Someone comes along, but you won't accept help. It's not how you build a relationship.
Oh, now it's a relationship.
Why don't you admit it, Meg? People who are in a relationship often have two sets of keys to the same place.
You've subscribed to my channel. You love these videos. It's time for that 90-minute masterclass where I help you eliminate writing blocks and arrive at your best screenplays. Join me at theindependentfilmschool.com. Link is below, and I'll invite you to my training. It is absolutely free. I'll see you there.